Fellow hobbyists, collectors, and Preheads alike, I want to welcome you to Predator Collectibles here, and I'm here again at Rose City Comic Con. And believe it or not, I actually found a vendor that I didn't think was going to be here, and that's Little Shop of Pins. Nice to meet you. And your name is?
I'm Jason.
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
So I know of your work, but not a lot of my fans do know. So you actually did something that a lot of my fans might be interested in, and what exactly is that?
So we were designing a pin with Hero Complex Gallery for one of their art shows that they did back in Los Angeles, and they asked us to do some type of Predator pin. And one of the things that I always thought was interesting was that the Predator, if you ever see the Predator, he's like invincible.
Right.
Or invisible. But then what does the Predator see? It's like, oh, you see them like with the heat, like radioactive, you know.
Yeah, thermal vision.
Thermal vision, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, well, this is what they see when Major Dutch was there, so that's how Major Dutch appears to them. So I thought it'd be kind of an interesting twist on doing a pin that way. So we made a pin for that based on the thermal vision.
Now, of course, you're seeing the pin now, and he actually has it on display right behind him.
Here, let's take it out.
Take it out for a second?
Yeah, of course.
So this is, of course, now, at first I thought this was going to be a limited edition pin, but that didn't end up happening, did it?
No, it was never really intended to be a limited edition. We just did it for the show. That was the reason why we did it, was to be part of this art show.
There's, of course, the pin right there. Nice, beautiful. Now, I have to say, as far as Little Shop of Pins, I've seen this particular pin at Hero Complex Gallery, and for those of you at home who are not sure or aware of Hero Complex Gallery, they're more of an art print showcase for a dealer. Right. So in this case, how did that come about? You said you knew Hero Complex Gallery.
Yeah, so I was actually participated in their very first show ever in Los Angeles. And the gallery, Adam and Shola, who run Hero Complex Gallery, we've just been friends ever since the beginning of like the conception of the gallery. And you know, they always hit us up whenever they have something going on. Hey, would you be interested? We have this going on. Like, we're doing this show that's like featuring a lot of like Predator stuff. So if you have anything you want to do, like, let's do it. And we're like, yeah, of course. Like, you guys are great friends of ours, so it's a good reason to do it.
Absolutely. Now, this particular pin is from the one he's talking about, is the John McTiernan tribute one.
Yes.
And it had different art prints. So Hero Complex Gallery, like Die Hard and Predator. A lot of them was definitely also. So we actually, this pin has a lot of detail in it. So how did you be able to get so much detail in an enamel pin like this?
So this pin, like, this is actually one of the only pins that we have that uses this particular process, and this is it's like an offset printed process. Okay. So in order to get the details, as many colors as we did, we had to get it basically printed on like photo paper, and then they get a laser and they cut around it, and then they affix it to like an iron backing.
Okay, wow.
So, and then they put a gloss epoxy on top of it to kind of just protect it.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of enamel pins I've seen is mostly like a CDC'd cut and then colored on top of that, whatever the engraves of the enamel pin is. Right. So in this case, that's not exactly what this is, but this is actually a much more better way of doing that. And I love how it captures all the thermal imaging. Because otherwise you won't be able to do that in any engraving.
Yeah, I think if I were to do it in the enamel process, the pin would probably have to be like this big. Because there's so many details. Right. But then it would be like a $200 pin.
Well, there is that company, Thing Pin. And I've been waiting for them because they have the giant ones.
Yeah, they do.
And I was like, okay, I definitely want a Predator that size. Right. But they haven't done it yet. I know it's licensing maybe at this point, because I know Disney now has the assets to Predator. So I'm hoping they will do something in that line. So, but you have other pins of different things like Labyrinth. You have horror pins, Freddy Krueger, The Mandalorian. And I just think that's awesome. Now, in regards to these particular pins, there are different ways, like we're talking about the engraving. Which one do you think have to be your best favorite pin that you've done so far?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Because we tend to design our pins and choose the processes based on like the design itself. Like this one really only worked as an offset pin because of the amount of details in it. But then we have ones that are soft enamel, which get you a little bit more detail. And then you got hard enamel, which you can't get as much detail, but it kind of gives you like more of the high quality finish. Right. Some of our pins, like this link pin, like it's a PVC. We wanted to have like a fish. So like, what's the best way to make like a fish? It would be like PVC.
I love details like this because it's just not just a pin, but it's actually two pins kind of in one. Right. And I do like that, and especially with the flip-up ones. Yeah. It's like you never know as far as when opening it. It's like a greeting card kind of a thing.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think a lot of our pins are different. Like this one particularly, the child pin, it's a 3D pin. It's about 4 millimeters thick. You could do it like 2 pins and kind of have them together, but we wanted to see if we can make one giant mold. So this one is like 3D molded with this little baby Grogu's hair is screen printed. Okay. And then it's a hard enamel. So it's kind of got 3D mold, hard enamel, and screen print. So it's got 3 different processes in one.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, really whatever the artwork calls for, like I think we figure out the process. Like our Iron Giant screw pin, like that's a 3D mold. Really good. That's 3D molded, and then the blue areas are transparent enamel, so that way you can kind of see the metal through the enamel.
Oh.
Yeah, so really it's kind of different depending on how we feel it would best, like, you know, suit the pin.
The pin, and of course the character in itself and the franchise.
Right. Exactly. Try to stay as true as possible whenever we can, or you either stay as true as you can, or you just kind of go for it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Jason. It's a pleasure to meet you finally.
I know, right?
I've actually I liked all of your pins on Instagram.
Thanks, man.
So I wish I will leave also down in the comment section, also his Instagram section. So, and of course, making sure that there is still available, correct?
Yeah, there's still available.
All right. So I'll make sure I'll leave all the information there. I'll see you guys later. And again, as always, happy hunting. And I'll see you right here at Rose City Comic Con.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.